Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim and I are back with another episode of Now Hear This.
Our first for 2026, if I'm
You
correct.
are correct, sir.
All right,
We
then.
each have a list of new releases that we have collected or listened to. Uh, Being that it's February, uh, these releases on my end have been released from the tail end of 2025 into 2026. And as I was telling Jim, they run the gamut from, hmm, hmm, well, you'll find out. You'll find out.
Yeah,
Gotta keep you waiting.
mine run the gamut as well.
It's anticipation. All right. There you go. But as I've always said, I was brought up right by my mama, and Jim is going to go first with his first pick on his list.
Thank you. Thanks, Armando. So my first list is I you might find this in the jazz category. Other than I hasten to think where else it might else appear. Maybe world music. This is a project that's fronted by Michael League, and Michael is the brainchild of Snarky Puppy. And if people are familiar with the bass player of Snarky Puppy, you know he just doesn't stick to bass. He'll throw some keyboards in there. He'll throw some guitar. He's really kind of a boundaryless and genreless type of composer and arranger. And this album really plays to those strengths. This is under the band named Ellipsis. And this is Michael League on bass and keyboards and guitars and other audio treatments, mixed in with Antonio Sanchez on drums from Pat Metheny's world, is where most people will know him, and a guy named Pedrito Martinez. Um, all three of these guys met in Spain, and this is basically an amalgam of Afro-Cuban bossness mixed with modern art rock, synths, keyboards, basses, guitars. I mean, it's just six songs, just 32 minutes, and every song kind of has this unique balance of the Afro-Cuban and the modern. Some are more Afro-Cuban forward, like a song called Suru or Abacoso. Then you've got a song like Variant, which is kind of more modern art rock forward, but with Afro-Cuban stuff underneath, making the whole thing sort of gel. Um, if you're familiar with early Santana, this kind of gives you an idea of the types of areas where this treads, but it's way beyond the 70s. I mean, this is definitely modern stuff mixed in with kind of this classic Afro-Cuban feel, and it's just an outstanding and compelling album. If you like your music in Espanol and you love the heavy driving rhythms, I tell you what, Ellipsis is an absolutely fantastic album. You know, from the first listen, I was just completely engaged by the whole thing, and definitely one of my favorites from January. Um, High marks from me.
Okay. All right. Okay. That sounds interesting.
It's it's really freaking cool.
Okay. All right. My first album I'm going to be talking about it's an archival release from Alice Cooper called Welcome to My Nightmare Live, uh, June 17th, 1975, recorded live at the LA Forum, released November 28th, 2025 as part of Rhino and Atlantic Records archive series. This is obviously recorded on, as you can tell from the graphic, recorded on Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare tour that he did at that point. Now, there have been many bootleg versions of this album released, but this is the first time that it's been released officially. 18 tracks in total, released on CD and double vinyl LP. This is This is the album done in its entirety, not in the running order of the studio version, but done in its entirety, featuring Steve Hunter and Dick Wagner on guitar, dueling guitars as between the left and the right channel, and the pretty much the musicians who supported him on the studio version of studio release. Um, this again is the official release of the album. There are a bit, there are some glitches in the recording. A guitar maybe like moves unexpectedly out of from the left to the right channel when it shouldn't, kind of thing. But it's still a fantastic snapshot of Alice Cooper, at his, I guess you could say, prime. And there is one thing though. He's supposed to be in character, being the character of Stephen throughout the album. But there's one point when he sings "Only Women Bleed," excuse me, and he actually giggles when he says it, when he sings it. I think that's, obviously it's breaking character there, but and he also plays "School's Out" and "No More Mr. Bad Guy," but the majority of the music is from the "Welcome to My Nightmare" album. It's the album done in its entirety, 18 tracks in total, as I said. A good snapshot of where it was at the time, and it's not very expensive, like 15.99 right now on Amazon.ca.
Canadian, probably, right?
Yeah, probably I would say about 25 to $30 American. Uh, Depending on, I got that backwards. It'd be
Yeah,
cheaper in America. It'd be like
it
10
would
bucks.
be.
10 bucks right now, 9.99. Sorry. There is tea in the cup. That's it. But uh again, I'm happy that they did release this officially. I did him and haw about getting it, but I did get it. So it's a good album. It's a good again, a good audio snapshot of where it was at the time. So there you go.
There we go. Cool. I have a new artist for my second choice. This is a gal. I'm not sure how I stumbled across her. I was a lot of my stuff in 2026 that I've discovered has been th trolling through lists and blogs and different things that people post. And I'm like, oh, this sounds like it might be interesting. I'll check it out. Or the cover looks interesting or something like that. This is a gal from the UK named Ellis Bailey, and she is self-described as a cross-genre singer-songwriter, hugely inspired by old school blues, roots, rock and roll, southern rock, retro soul, and dark gospel. And gosh darn it, all six of those adjectives apply. Ellis Bailey is fantastic. This is an album called Can't Take My Story Away. And it is just drenched in this soulful roots rock kind of feel. I mean, if you like your Bonnie Raitt, you like your Lydia Penson Cold Blood, you like your Tedeschi Trucks Band, this album is definitely in that wheelhouse. I actually have a prop of it right here. This is the version that you can order from her website. This is what she calls the official bootleg, which is the whole Can't Take My Story Away album, plus six acoustic live versions of some of the other songs. Absolutely stunning. You
Okay.
know, to me, you know, I much like I prefer to hear Rummer than I prefer to hear Adele. I would rather hear Ellis Bailey than listen to Adele. Um, there's a lot of authenticity, to what's going on here, and you kind of think, wow, authentic, a UK gal, but she's just drenched in this American kind of soul. Absolutely. Um, you know, gospely ballads, funky, chunky guitar tunes, horn-driven rave ups. I mean, it's all here on this record, and Ellis completely delivers. I highly recommend this album. Can't Take My Story Away. One of the biggest joyful surprises for me in this new year thus far.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I'll have to check it out.
Please do.
I will. My next choice is Sarah McLachlan with her latest release, Better Broken, released September 19th, my birthday, 2025 through Concord Records. It's their first release in 11 years.
Hey,
And she's back, ladies and gentlemen. I've always loved her voice, never mind In the Arms of the Angels. But her voice is just so, to me, it's like velvet. It's beautifully
yeah.
done. This is an album of adult contemporary, or I should say alternative pop music. There's a good mixture of organic instrumentation and program instrumentation. 11 tracks in total. Short album, like 40 some odd minutes. Featured on the album is Wendy Melvoin, ex of Princeton Revolution, and she plays drums, guitar, bass, about four or five of the tracks on the album. But yeah, this was an album that Sarah McLachlan has said in interviews. I made it when I was ready to make it. She's been through a lot in 11 years, and there's a lot of soul searching on this album. Her voice has a very ethereal quality to it,
Hmm.
very beautiful, very breathless kind of quality to it, effortless. It's like she could sing the songbook or the phone book, sorry, songbook and phone book, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm good. Okay, I'm not joint anyone. Seriously, it's that good. It's that good. So
How would you say this compares to like Fumbling Toward Ecstasy, which I know was, you know, 2 decades ago, if not more, but
I would say it compares. It's right up there.
okay.
She was signed for a long time through in the U.S. through Arista and in Canada through Network. It has a new deal with Concord, and she's on going on tour. And if she does stop in your city, check it out. It's
There we
amazing.
go.
It's amazing. Yeah, Better Broken from Sarah McLachlan.
Cool. We missed that in 25. Glad we covered it now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad we did too. I'm glad we did too. So, yeah. Your next one?
My next one is an EP. If I have my facts right, this is by a San Francisco Bay Area duo called Fictional Stranger. And this EP is called Come. I have it here, Come of Go, but it might actually be Come or Go. Let me check the authority really quick. Hem and ha, delay, 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 Come or Go is the title. So I was mistaken there. Fictional Stranger, Come or Go. There's two gals that they have doing vocals. A woman named Liv Monahan is doing most of the vocals, I think, on 5 of the 6 tracks, and a woman named Maud, Maud, is handling the other track. There's a lot of this album that is, shall we say, almost lo-fi, but it's all very jazzy. I listen to a lot of these tracks and I'm hearing Mazzy Star, Steely Dan, maybe some Florence and the Machine in there, Everything But the Girl, Dusty Springfield. I mean, there's a touch of progginess in places in some of these songs, but the real neat thing about this album to me is that they're all just really well done songs. Liv's vocals are very soulful, very peaceful, and much like you were saying about Sarah, I could probably listen to Liv um, sing the phone book most of the evening and be perfectly content just because of her delivery. All of these tunes are all, pretty mid-tempo. You know, there's, approaching some really thick jazzy chords in here. This is, like I said, an EP that was, I had no idea what to expect going in, and I really enjoyed it. So if you like the name drop comparisons that I put in there, and it's, I say these as sort of jumping off points. Not to say it's as good as or exactly like these other things, but if you kind of take each of these things and add them together and sort of get a picture in your audio mind about what it might sound like,
Yeah.
I think that's fairly fair. But yeah, fictional stranger, come or go.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I'll check that one out too.
Worth checking out.
Yeah. My next one, we're going to the opposite end of the spectrum here. Live
Liberace?
release. Hell no.
Okay.
Um, Live release from UK progressive metal band Haken called Life Forms, An Evening with Haken. A three CD, yes, three CD, one Blu-ray uh, package released May 9th, 2025 through Inside Out Music. Haken, again, progressive metal band. They have released 7 studio albums, and I will be doing a ranking the albums of Haken uh, coming up in the next few weeks. Plug, plug, plug. And uh, this tour was in support of their album Fiora, which came out in 2023. This was recorded in 2024. The first half of the show is the band doing Fiora in its entirety, and the second half of the show is the band doing their back catalog, just hence an evening with Haken. Small venue. I believe the venue that they were at was O2 Arena in London. I believe it has a capacity of 2,000 people. So relatively small venue, almost like a theater, old-fashioned theater.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
I think the O2 Arena, which is where people like, Zeppelin and Peter Gabriel play, and then
yeah,
there's a theater kind of connected to it
yeah,
if I remember correctly.
yeah. 3 hours and 13 minutes.
Get your
Uh,
pit diaper for that one.
oh my God. I mean, it was like bring some food, bring some drinks, bring some smokes if you do. Sit back, bring a pillow, sit back and just enjoy. I will say this, due to the time restraints on the CDs are not done in the original running order of the show. Uh, the Blu-ray has the entire show in its original running order. So, and it's available also on uh, double vinyl, and the double vinyl only has the performance of Fiora in its entirety, not the extra track. So if you want the full Haken experience, please, get this. I got it off of Amazon for like $44 when I saw this. I'm like, I snapped it up. I'm new to Haken. I do have Fiora, but I'm new to Haken. It was an eye-opening experience. And this is the last concert to feature two of their members, Charlie Griffiths on guitar and Connor, I forget his last name, I'm sorry, on bass. They had left the
Hmm.
band uh, in early 2026. So if you want to see the band in this formation, check it out. It's high energy. Uh, there's a mosh pit in front of the stage. And you do see people on the verge of slam dancing. That's all I'm going to say.
In odd time signatures, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Not as much, as you would see in documentaries of like, the punk movement and stuff, but people body surfing over the crowd and just
Wow.
really getting into it, really getting into it. A lot of really regimented staccato rhythm guitar, just aggressive, emotional, textured. But you know what? It's good. It's a good show. It's a good show.
So
So,
would you say that Haken is like close to Dream Theater?
uh, yeah, but more regimented guitar.
Okay.
a lot of, I guess you'd say, staccato, like repeat of rhythm guitar, like dun dun dun, dun, like jazz, like machine gun like type, that sort of,
Gotcha. Gung, gung,
like
gung, 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 gung,
go go
gung,
go,
that
yeah,
kind of.
yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah,
Gotcha. So
short and sweet.
not like King Crimson repeating guitar riffs.
No, short and
Okay.
sweet and to the point, right between the eyes. Boom, you're done. I mean, right between the eyes.
There you
Uh,
go.
but yeah, it's a high energy performance, and the crowd are into it, the band are into it. It's Haken. It's a good show. Good
Okay.
show.
You're taken by Haken is what I'm hearing.
Yes, I am. Uh, for this performance, and I will be doing ranking the albums again on Haken. So join me for that. So go your next one.
My next one is a total discovery that I found, I believe, on Bandcamp. Um, just trolling through, here's some of the new albums that we like this week, and holy crap, I just absolutely love this album. The band is from Seattle, and they are called Plash, Plash. The
Ooh,
album is called I Live Alone. Holy crap, do I love this record. I was I was listening to it and I was writing down all these things that I kind of heard through it. Lo-fi, garage rock, Crimson, Pretenders, jazzy, dream pop, funk, prog. But these are all like modern pop songs and they're just these guys are all over the place in what they're playing and it's all competent. It's all great. None of it is like chintzy, half-ass stuff. These guys are like totally committed. Um, there's dropouts, funk bass. There's this creative, propelling drumming that just takes this whole thing into, you know, areas that you wouldn't expect. It's just so fantastically done. It's not available on CD. It's streaming only. You can buy a vinyl version. The tags on the Bandcamp site that I guess the band selects, they have it as rock, world, alternative, art rock, indie rock, K-pop, math rock, and Seattle. These are the tags that they apply to it. There's
okay.
there's definitely one song that's in Korean, but it's not like boy band Korean, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
I think there might be another song that's either half Korean or all, but there's at least, Korean peppered through a couple of the songs in here. I just absolutely love this album. I just think it's modern rock, but it's energetic. It's like progressive in the best way possible, and that's progressing forward.
Hmm.
It's not progressive as in everyone is wearing capes and there's ghastly keyboard solos or, guitar figures that just, make you say, oh, when will this end? These are tight, fun, energetic, great pop songs, but yet, in the midst of it, there's funk, there's dream pop, there's prog. I just absolutely love this album from the first, you know, 30 seconds I heard it into, which is just basically a child kind of babbling about the name Plash into this. I mean, it's just, I've absolutely loved this record. Plash, I Live Alone, of the six albums plus one I'm going to talk about today, this is my absolute favorite. Drop what you're doing, seek it out on your favorite streaming platform, and just enjoy the bejeepers out of it.
Okay.
Absolutely love this band.
Flash. Okay. I'll check it out.
Plash, or as the child says, Plash. So,
Cool. Cool. All right. My next choice, from one extreme, from the heaviness and machine gun staccato guitar of Haken, we're going into the moody electric dance world of Depeche Mode
oh,
with their latest live release, Memento Mori, Mexico City, released on December 5th, 2025, through their longtime label, Columbia Records. This has been released in a four vinyl LP set, a double CD set, the soundtrack is, and a four uh, disc CD set. The final version of the set is the double disc of the show, the soundtrack. You have the concert Blu-ray, and you also have the documentary that was it's on Netflix called M, directed by
Okay.
one Fernando Frias. And it's very much the documentary is very much of film noir, shot in black and white, and it talks about Mexico and their how the cul talks about the culture of Mexico and their relation to death, the relationship with death, the themes of
Okay.
death. Um, a lot of use of skulls in the imagery in terms of the documentary.
So like Dia de la Muerte.
Dio de la Muerte, that's right.
Yeah.
Um, thank you very much.
Hey,
Wonderfully done, wonderfully shot. The show itself has, Dave Gahan on lead vocals, dressed up like, if I can say it, he looks like Bela Lugosi.
well,
Like, yeah, like literally, like make pancake makeup on, hair slicked back, um, like a dress shirt, vest, unbuttoned at the neck, but looks very like, again, Bela Lugosi, you know. Um, Martin Gore, who does the uh, keyboards and guitar. Dare I say he does some shredding on guitar for some of the songs, and they're augmented by a drummer and keyboard, bass and keyboard player, additional keyboards, joining them on stage. 24 songs. The soundtrack, the CD version has four additional studio cuts that were recorded for the Memento Mori album. They're not included on the Blu-ray of the concert, but at one point they do pay tribute to their they paid tribute to the late Andy Fletcher, who passed away in 2022. It's wonderful. It's how can I say this? It's tempered ass shaking because I mean you do have uh pulsate, you do have the dance music, but it's
mhm.
it's tastefully done. It's not just, singing I just can't get enough. It's the songs are very moody.
Not that
They
there's anything wrong with Mr. Barry White, but
No, no, no. You do know the song I'm talking about, right? From Depeche Mode, just can't get enough.
No, I was thinking Barry White. Just can't get
Okay,
enough
no,
of your love.
they Depeche Mode's first hit single was "Just Can't Get Enough" from their album "Speaking Spell" from '81. Um,
Ah,
eh, there is the dance music element that comes in, but it's also done very, very sort of it's very moody. That's all I can say. It's very, very sort of somber in its approach in the way they
mm-hmm,
present the music. The band are into it, the audience is into it. They've always had a good relationship with people in Mexico in terms of their fan base, and they're just it's a night of celebration
mm-hmm.
for them. And it's just roughly over 2 hours, so you get good bang for your buck in
There you
terms of
go.
the amount of music that's on there. So yeah, Depeche Mode, Memento Mori, Mexico City. Check it out. It's available on Amazon. You can get it on Discogs at your local record store, on eBay, or you can listen to the album on YouTube. Stream it. Check it out.
All right then.
Okay. Your next one?
My next one, I have a prop for this one too.
Oh
This is
Lord.
the latest album by guitarist Julian Lage, who is on the Blue Note label. And Julian Lage is a jazz player. He's a young cat. And this is an album, a quartet album with John Medeski on keyboards, Jorge Roeder on bass, and the amazing Kenny Wollesen on drums. Um, A lot of folks compare Julian Lage to Bill Frisell, and very rightfully so, because he's equally adept at sort of the angular, sort of funky jazz as he is drop dead gorgeous ballads that just drip of
Drip.
Americana. Um, and whether he's playing electric or acoustic, Julian is a very, very, very tasteful player. Um,
Yeah,
John
I've heard of him
Medeski,
before. I've heard of him
yeah,
before. Yeah. Mm.
yeah, John Medeski is kind of like the other lead person on here on Hammond B3, I believe. He does piano on here as well, but the Hammond work on here treads this line between sort of carnival funk and cocktail lounge gospel. I mean, it's really fun and really, really creative. Um, there's some drop dead beautiful tunes on here. The first single that was released is a track called Opal, which is just to die for, drop dead gorgeous. Something More and Nightshade are a couple of other really tasty ballads on this album. The tracks Red Elm and Talking Drum have kind of a slinky and funky feel to them both. Um, the song Storyville on here is where things get a little bit discordant, but not like Zero Tolerance for Silence discordant. Um, in fact, Julian took lessons from Matheny, so there's a connection in there as well. But I think as far as tone and compositional approach go, um, Julian Lage's playing kind of owes more to Frizzell, but his adroitness with the guitar can echo Matheny at times too. Anyway, this is a really, really fun release, and I got it just on the strength of the Opal track. That was the first single, and I don't regret doing it at all. And it's just a fantastic record. So much so that just had to get it physically. Julian Lage, Scenes from Above. If you're a jazz guitar fan, I think this will be in your wheelhouse for sure. If you like something that's a little bit different, it's an easy recommendation as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of Julian Lage before. I haven't really checked out on his stuff, but I should. Honestly, I should. My last selection I'm going to be talking about is the latest release from UK artist Mika, Mika, called Hyperlove, released on January 23rd, 2026 through Republic Records, through Universal Music Distribution. Mika, and he's well known in UK and in the UK and in Europe. He's quite successful. He's also known in North America, but not to the same extent as in the UK and in the rest of Europe. He released, this is his seventh release. He's released, his first album came out in '07 called Life in Cartoon Motion with the singles Grace Kelly, Relax, Take It Easy, not the Funky Goes to Hollywood cover, but original. His classification of music is, I would say, pop, power pop, dance, baroque pop. He can do it all. He plays keyboards, piano, guitar. He sings like like no other that I've heard. He's been compared to, in terms of his vocal prowess and dexterity and versatility, he's been compared to Freddie Mercury in terms of his ability to harmonize with himself, triple track his vocals, and just come up with just these notes that are just like, my God. This isn't, sort of like Christina Aguilera doing the vocal gymnastics that she does or that she did. This is
Ghastly
someone that,
Scales.
yes, this is someone that can hit you, crack you right in the ribs with just a soaring voice. There are 15 tracks in total, 12 full-length tracks on this album. There were four singles released from this album, those singles being Modern Times, Immortal Love, Excuses for Love, and Spinning Out. And with the 15 tracks, 12 are full length and three are musical interludes lasting no more than a minute and 48 seconds at the most, featuring, pulsating keyboard oriented dance music with narration on top by none other than John Waters of Hairspray and Pink Flamingos fame. And when I hear this album, like I have most of his albums, but when I hear this album, I'm reminded of early to mid 80s synth pop. And there's one track called Dreams on this, 2 minutes and 56 seconds. And when I hear this track, I'm reminded of the Human League from the Dare album, Sound of the Crowd. These are the things that dreams are made of, that kind of thing. Uh, just very melodic, very ass shaking. Yes, I said it, ass shaking, but done. I'll just say this. The one thing that he wanted to do when he wrote this album, he wanted to make a dance-oriented album, but he wanted the flaws included. He didn't want a pristine EDM album. He wanted an album of dance music, but that could also be recreated live on stage. And when you hear this music, it isn't again like 300 beats per minute. It's not that boof boof, what you hear today in dance clubs. It's just melodic Euro disco electronic dance music done with a bit of flair and style. And he sings a lot about emotion, about relationships, uh, and he does it so well. I mean, he's done duets with Ariana Grande on one of her albums, and I forget the song right now, but it's on YouTube. You can check it out. Uh, again, he has been compared to Freddie Mercury in terms of his vocal prowess, specifically on his last English album called My Name is Michael Holbrook on the track Tiny Love, which leads off the album. That track alone was compared to early Queen a la 73, 74, with the multi-sections and layered harmonies and guitar work that's done on the track. Just a wonderful vocalist. He should be talked about more. I know it's not the kind of stuff that I usually talk about on this channel, but I wanted to present to you guys just a different uh, variety of, just a different array of music that I listen to. And this is one of them. So,
Cool.
have you heard of him?
I had not, and you just did an episode on this album specifically, right?
Yes, I did an album review, a quick album review on this album, just 12 minutes and 12 seconds. Uh, yeah, he should be talked about more. He's done
Okay.
albums, and his last two albums were done in French, and he's very, very unique, very powerful, very melodic, ass shaker galore. But he doesn't pigeonhole himself into one genre. Yes, it's within the pop realm, but he does different styles of pop. He does
Hmm.
Baroque. He does, almost big band kind of stuff, oriented stuff. Not totally big band, but that kind of feel,
Yep.
like 30s and 40s, that kind of feel with
Hmm.
horns and stuff. So he's just very versatile in what he does musically, and you can't really pinpoint him in terms of a certain genre. But for this album, he went for broke. He went for the dance crowd. And this is a feel-good album.
Cool.
Spinning Out, the fourth single, specifically talks about someone who's just dealing with a lot of shit in life. You know what I mean? And just
Mm.
feeling like they need to just let go and just break out of whatever they're expected to do, or and just having a great time and just sort of enjoying a night out or just enjoying a weekend out and just forgetting their problems for whatever time. And you can forget your problems for 44 minutes and 25 seconds, which is how long this album is. So it's not very long.
Okay.
No. So yeah, there you go.
Cool.
That's my last choice.
All right. I've got two left. Um,
Okay.
one is brand new, and one is a reissue. So we'll talk about, well, even this one that's brand new, technically you could argue. Anyway, this is an album called Naive Melodies, and this is an album released in January. It is a Talking Heads cover album covering everything from the little known tracks like Sugar on My Tongue all the way to the monster hits like Burning Down the House. Now, there was a Talking Heads cover album that was released in 2025, which to me was not very successful. I just found it really kind of boring and just kind of they didn't do interesting things with the Talking Heads music to me. They didn't add anything to it. This, however, at minimum, every track is interesting and engaging. But at best, this is like A plus material. In just doing a little bit of trolling on the interwebs regarding just finding new releases, there was something that came up about this record from radio station KEXP, and I'm going to quote liberally from what they say about it. They say, with a focus on recontextualizing Talking Heads music through the lens of Black musical innovation and to shine a light on the Black music traditions that underpinned the Talking Heads artistry, Naive Melodies features some of today's finest genre blurring, forward thinking, idiosyncratic artists who each boldly tap into the Talking Heads' playful, groovy, sophisticated, and adventurous spirit for their own distinctive interpretations. And boy, howdy, does that description absolutely nail it. You've got Take Me to the River, which is done as this deeply gospel, soulful rave up. Sugar on My Tongue is like old school dubstep. And She Was is recast as this complete dream pop experience. Born Under Punches is this modern techno Afro pop thing. Once in a Lifetime has this angular kind of crunch rock feel to it. And this must be the place which Naive Melody comes from, that title, is just this beautifully orchestrated piece of that's just quiet and bucolic, but deeply rich, like, Sinatra's Capitol recordings from the late 50s and early 60s. It's just
Okay.
an absolutely fantastic album. If it wasn't for the Plash record, this would be my favorite album of January. This was such a fun discovery, and I highly recommend it for people who enjoy the Talking Heads music, for folks who want to sort of get their fingers on apparently what is representative of the pulse of modern forward thinking Black music. This works as well, apparently. So yeah, highly recommended album. I think it's oh, how many tracks is this darn thing? One moment, he said in an unprepared fashion, and I will tell you that it is 18 tracks. It's just a touch under 80 minutes in length, and you can find it on your favorite services, what streams music that you listen to. Um, Naive Melodies, fantastic record.
Okay. All right. Is it available in physical form?
I don't know. I have not dug that deep into it. This was such a recent discovery that I wanted to just blather about it as quickly as I could.
Okay. All right. And
But
you're
if there is a CD version of it, I will find it, I will hunt it, and I will hoard it and hold it with great tender care and joy.
okay. Okay. I've never heard someone talk about like that about a CD, but there you go.
Well,
All
there you
right.
go. Well,
Your last
speaking of
choice?
holding things with, tender care and joy, there is this little beauty which just shipped out, which is the reissue of Miles Davis, complete at the Plug Nickel 1965.
Okay, you're good
Where are
there.
you, Miles? There
You're
we
good
are.
there.
There's Mr. Davis.
Okay.
This is an 8 CD set covering 7 sets of music over 2 nights, recorded at the Plug Nickel Club in Chicago, 1965, with Miles' second great quintet. So this is Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams.
Holy shit. Okay.
This is the album that basically took what Miles' music was at that point, which is sort of still coming out of this standards-based way of treating songs, maybe getting a bit modal here and there. And like all the songs, like kind of from Kind of Blue and the song Milestones, all very modal based jazz. And this is where the band just sort of began to say, F it. We want to do something different. We want to light a fire under ourselves. And to me, it's kind of the apex of what Miles was after in this period, but couldn't quite discover. And this is Tony Williams just really pushing the band, saying, you know what? When a piece we're gonna do anti-music. And it's like he and Herbie and Ron kind of concocted this whole thing and let Wayne in on it, but they didn't tell Miles. They just got on the bandstand and they started. And they were basically doing what they called anti-music. And the way it's described in the wonderful booklet that comes with this CD set, lots of pages and color photos and essays. It basically goes into what they meant by that, which if if the arrangement calls for you guys to emphasize something, they would pull back. If it pushed for them to call to like push forward, they would pull back. If it called for them to be gentle, they would force their way into it. They were really just completely rearranging the songbook on the fly. And where you would traditionally hear Miles play, the long melodic statement of, If I Were a Bell, which kind of kicks off the album, the
Mhm.
whole CD set. He would play like the first phrase of the head, and from there would just begin to go off. It's like Miles didn't know that they were going to go so far off script when they started, but he got it immediately once he heard Williams and Hancock and Carter approaching these things differently, and
Mhm.
Miles just went with it. And it's just 8 CDs of just unbelievable tightrope walking music making in front of this tiny club in Chicago. This
Recommended?
highly recommended, highly recommended. This originally came out, it was recorded in 65. This came out originally in the late 90s when Columbia began to really sort of reissue the Miles catalog and dig
Mhm.
into their archives. Um, if memory serves right, this went quickly out of print because people were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they just gobbled up all the copies. I think the original US release was only 7 discs. In Japan,
I
it was
believe
eight.
reading about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and in Japan it was 8, but I don't know what the differences were between the
Okay.
sets. But
Mm.
this is the full 8 CD mother, and wow,
Mother.
and you know how
It's a
Miles
mother.
spoke. It is a mother, and Miles, every other word was mother and the word that follows it. So
I'll say a
this set
motherfucker. I'll say
there you go. This set is all that
it.
and an effing bag of chips. It's just outstanding stuff. It's if your whole Miles experience is kind of blue or like the first great quintet from the 50s, this is going to be a shock to the system. So this is not for your
Faint at heart.
it's not for the faint of heart, it's not for the casual Miles fan. But if you dig all eras of Miles and you don't know about this, the plug nickel is like holy grail territory.
I'm on it. I'll
The
check it
one thing
out.
I have about this set, just the one thing that I'll hold against it,
The one caveat.
is that the box is a little flimsy. You can see me kind of do the squeeze thing here with the box. So it's not like the original 90s box, which is like really rough hewn and rigid, and you could like put your beer on it and it wouldn't sag. I could put the remainder of this drink on it and this box would sag. So it's not a very solidly constructed set, but that's probably why it's only $79 as opposed to 119 because
Okay.
they skimped on the packaging. But
Okay.
again, what you get on it sonically, frickin' chef's kiss, A plus, 100. I mean, it's outstanding.
Well, luckily I don't drink beer, so I'll be safe if I do get that. That's good.
There you
Um,
go.
no, it's good. No, I we talked about that a while back about even doing a show on this. I
Hmm.
do believe, and if I get my copy,
Well, I guess you'll just have to sign me up then.
stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you're in. You're in.
All right.
You're in. No, we did talk about that a while back, and I completely
Hmm.
forgot about it. Right. So,
Well, there's been
um,
so many things that we cover in such quick succession that it's hard to keep track of everything. But
yeah,
yeah,
exactly,
the Live at the
exactly.
Plug Nickel is Miles has several touchstone jazz changing elements in his discography.
Yeah.
Um, you know, kind of blue, bitches brew in a silent way. Um, Plug Nickel is definitely one of those.
Yeah, yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, it's always fun to see Jim hold back when a swear word is about to come out because he doesn't like to swear. But when he lets it rip, he lets it rip. But it's fun. It's fun to watch.
One day I'll bring the Miles biography off the shelf and I'll just read a page for fun and we'll see how quickly this channel gets kicked off of the platform because
Yeah,
every other
no,
word
no.
will be effer, you know.
Yeah, MF. Yeah, I know. Oh, I
Hmm.
know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Now hear this. A
It's a big variety.
yes,
It's a
a
wide swath of
variety
music. Yeah.
that I didn't think was going to happen. We have run the gamut in terms of music genres, in terms of talking about new releases, and hopefully, just maybe you found something that you want to listen to. And you know, I've always said music is never a waste, and there's always something new to discover. And I've said this before, when you think that you know all there is to know about music, you might as well just hang up your hat and go do something else. And just, stay where you are and you know, don't listen to anything else. But
Yep.
music is always changing, it's always evolving, it's always new and exciting. And hopefully, between our two lists, you found something that you're thinking, okay, I'll go check that out. You know,
Yeah, there you go. That's the
um,
whole idea is just to try to describe things in such a way that might entice you to
to
be
to
drawn
go,
into it.
yeah, to discover something new or rediscover something that you really didn't, maybe you had before, but you want to go back and listen to it.
There you go.
Nothing
And I've
wrong with
got
that.
9 albums already in the queue that I've started to listen through for like an episode 2 for this year. There's just been some freaking great music already in 2026. And if it's anything like 25, there's just going to be this amazing variety of stuff to kind of plow through that either is the apex of its genre or it's just genreless.
And
So,
and yeah, I mean, and even artists that have re-released albums in the catalog in box set form. Like, just quickly, Ken and I talked about doing a show called Dear Santa, making a wish list for 2026. And one of them was, I want to get a copy of the new Queen 2 box set.
yep.
I want to get that. I have the new box set of Tales from Topographic Oceans coming. So I'm going to be doing a show on that. Hopefully, either on my own or with other people. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'm looking at you, Jim. If you want to kick in.
I can't run in that sandbox, brother. Sorry.
Okay. All right. All right. Coward. Okay, fine. Okay. All right.
Hours in the day, man. Hours in the
I
day.
know. I know. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the Tesla Topographic Oceans, uh, 12 CDs, two double vinyl LP, and a Blu-ray audio. So it's massive, but affordable. Affordable.
Well, there you go.
$200. $200.
Canadian?
So Canadian.
Dang.
Dang.
Dang, son.
Dang, son. That's right. So by the time this show airs, it'll be released and I'll have it in my fat little fingers. So that's coming up. I'm going to be talking about that. But again, back to the topic at hand. We wanted to introduce to you some new albums and some reissues, possibly some old favorites, some rediscoveries, and hopefully you find something you want to listen to. So put your comments down below in the comment section once you've listened to these albums and let us know what you think. We would like to get a dialogue going on this, you know. But yeah, this has been fun. It's been a fun episode. And with Jim Bricker, there's no such thing as a short episode.
What are you trying to tell me?
Not a damn
That
thing.
that I'm a long-winded gas bag? What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying a damn word. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying a word. I'm just saying we have
I
fun
see.
together when we do these episodes.
There we
So,
go.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, please look after yourselves and one another. Click like and subscribe and do hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content we got coming up. And we'll see you soon again on the Music Den. All right, have a good night. Bye for now.